Hello there, and welcome to the Outside Film Podcast, where we talk film, TV, games, and all that jazz like there's no tomorrow. My name is Tom, and as always, I'm joined with my co-host John.
Hey, it's me. Yes, John. Yes. This week has been a crazy week. We got all exciting stuff. We got Army of the Dead, Bad Batch, and new trailers. So we're excited to talk about this.
So much. It's like
Yeah.
it's like we're back in March. We're doing another Zack Snyder feature. It really is a time to be alive.
Yes. Yes.
Indeed. How are you this week?
Yeah, just tired. I haven't watched any films this week because you know me.
He's a
I'm
revising man.
Yes, I'm revising, so I want to put time and commitment into my assessments. So
That's it. That's
yeah,
what we like to see. So we like to see
Yeah.
commitment. Stay in school,
Yeah.
kids.
yeah, stay in school. Hugs, not drugs.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah.
So shall we get started?
How are you? No, how are you? Sorry.
How am
How are
I?
you?
You know what? I'm all right. You know, college has ended for me, and I'm literally writing again. I'm writing scripts. I'm writing screenplays. I'm really happy about that. Kind of getting back to the grind, all the stuff that I love.
Oh yeah. I have been creating lots of ideas, which I'm being excited about. So yeah,
It's all happening here.
yeah. So I can't wait to work on stuff again. So
Oh,
we can't. Yeah, we got work
freedom.
on stuff. So
Freedom.
yeah.
So, shall we start off with some news?
Yes. Go spit some news, dear sir.
I'm gonna spit some of that news. Okay, so we got a trailer for Snake Eyes, or to be precise, Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins. Now, this film is, obviously an origin story to G.I. Joe. There's been 2 G.I. Joe films so far, and a third one is on the way. And this is looking to be the origins of Snake Eyes. What do you think? Have you seen any G.I. Joe films before?
Well, I can't remember any. Well, I remember watching a bit of it, and I don't know why I turned it off, but I kind of remember the second one or the third one. I don't know. Yeah. So, Snake Eyes. I do know the backstory of Snake Eyes, like some animations or some comics. I know he, when he was younger, he was trained by his master because he saved a princess, and then one day he got shot through the throat and he couldn't talk.
Oh,
yeah!
Wow, what an end! What an end to the legacy.
Yeah.
So I've never seen or consumed any kind of G.I. Joe kind of media, unless you can't get, I guess, like playing with some of my friends' toys when I was little. But yeah, I've never seen anything. But this looks really cool. It looks like this really interesting kind of like martial arts flick, and yeah, I'm quite intrigued to see kind of where this goes.
Yeah, like it looks real. It kind of looks different because, I mean, they would just put it up again because, they would just get the trailer. I want to see some shots.
You want to see some shots? We can see some shots.
Yeah.
It's this.
I watched it on Monday, so.
Oh right, yeah. Well, this film stars Henry Golding, who was in The Gentleman, and I really liked him in that, and he's also in Last Christmas. So I quite like him as an actor in the things that I've seen him in, and I definitely see that like he's got range because obviously in Last Christmas he plays this kind of like romantic lead, and in The Gentleman he plays this kind of like evil kind of gangster. So I really enjoy the fact that he has I like that he has range, and I hope that we kind of see that come to fruition. I know this film's been kind of, I don't want to say stuck in development hell, but it's definitely been on the cards for a while now.
Yeah. You mean, wait, what are we talking about? Sorry, G.I. Joe.
Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes. Yeah, sorry. I thought. Okay. I was like, oh, have I misheard something? Yeah.
All these names of films, just throwing them in.
So yeah, from what I've seen from the trailer, it looks amazing. To be honest, like the camera work, like with a lot of action movies, they have like a problem with like following the action, but this looks like very fixed. It just looks very
it
easy to watch.
it
Like,
seems
what I
like
mean?
that's happening across a lot of films, action. I feel like it's the kind of we had the Bourne films, which established this very shaky cam kind of action. And then I feel like films such as John Wick have, reinvigorated, revitalized, what we kind of perceive good action to
Yeah,
be, these kind of long
yeah,
take kind of sequences with amazing choreography.
yeah. It feels more grounded. Like with John Wick films, they feel that not too like like in Taken, it takes 22 shots to get Liam Neeson to get over a fence or something. But yeah,
What's the
yeah,
matter, Danny? Never taken a shortcut before?
yeah. So good reference.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. But I haven't seen the other ones, so I
Hey,
might
maybe we'll
have to watch.
maybe we'll cover them for the pod.
Yeah, yeah, we'll do that. It
We'll
it looks
just
great.
have to see. Yeah, it does. So our next piece of news is actually a sequel to 2011 film Attack the Block. So Attack the Block 2 has been announced, with director
Yes.
Joe Cornish returning and John Boyega starring as the lead role, but also I think he's producing it as well. And no word on everyone else. Obviously, this film also starred, not Nicholas Cage. That would be amazing. Nick
And
Frost,
Nicolas Cage.
um, Nick
Maybe the
Frost,
monster.
Jodie Whittaker, people like that. Now, have you seen Attack the Block?
Sadly, no.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So this is like, so you don't really have any context behind this sequel. I'll say this: Attack the Block 1 is a very good film. It kind of was. I think it's pretty much the reason why John Boyega was cast as Finn in Star Wars. So it's the reason for a lot of his kind of fame nowadays. And
Interest.
it's about like roadmen in London fighting aliens.
Ah,
Yeah, it's pretty wild. However, I have to say, I watched this. I studied this as for film studies in GCSE, and I watched it about 20 times in the span of like 2 months because we had a really bad like film we had like just a really bad film course. And let me tell you, I never want to watch that film ever again.
Attack the Block. Jeez.
Yeah, it was that and District 9. You've seen District 9?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I've seen it
great
like
film.
once.
But honestly, I've watched it like 15 times and it's burned into my brain. Yeah.
Yeah,
Never
I
again.
hate when like film studies are like sometimes you have to go through this film again and again and again,
Oh,
even
yeah,
though
honestly.
everything like the cinematography, the music sense, like
Just
how
wait, just
they
wait
create
until
the
you
meaning.
have just wait until you study Vertigo.
Oh god, I heard bad things about
Yeah,
Vertigo.
it's not good. It's not good, man.
Yes, yes,
Not a
yes, and
fan.
like yeah, but yeah, what you do in film studies is just like create like look for hidden meanings or look for what the directors what to do. But if you're watching a film 50 different times, it's embedded in your head. You go, oh yeah, there he is. He's getting transformed into a big alien. Yes, the
Yes.
yes, and a very sad ending.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. Hey,
District 9.
there may or may not be a sequel to that one too. So that's quite cool.
Yeah, yeah. We thought there was be a sequel, but
Who
no.
knows, eh?
Anyway,
Who knows?
yeah.
We actually also got our first look at Monsters at Work. Now, this is the sequel series to Monsters Inc. Obviously, Monsters Inc. holds a very special place in my heart. I know it holds a special place in your heart too. What do you think about Monsters at Work?
Um, yeah. It looks. I think it's gonna be a little bit goofy, but yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say about it, but
Yeah,
uh,
I'm sure it will be, it will have the same kind of spirit as the first two films. It'll have
yeah.
Billy Crystal and oh what's he
Sully, John
what's
Goodman.
John Goodman, that's right. Those guys kind of like they're really nice rapport with each other. But I don't where do you take the story, The story
Sorry.
kind of the story wrapped up, at the end of Monsters Inc. It feels like a very natural conclusion. and I'm not sure where a sequel could take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes, I see what you mean. Like, we already got the prologue, we got the end of it, but we're going to see more of it. I mean, sure, I guess, but unless you're going to do something new with it, like you're going to experiment with, like, okay, how do we make a new story out of this, but like not be repetitive, like what Monster Inc. did. Like, it was so creative, like with the doors and like giving me flashbacks, man.
Oh, I love
Uh,
that film so much.
yeah, man. Like, it was so emotional, but also like creative, like, with everything that Disney did. No, not Disney.
Pixar.
Pixar. Yeah. So I really love that. And my parents, it's believe it or not, it's their favorite animation of all animations.
Really?
Yeah.
I think someone should show them Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse or Fantastic Mr. Fox.
They're not into that. I didn't.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Such a sin.
Yes. We'll see what Monsters work is going to be like, and
We
if
will.
it's that good or if it's we might talk about it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it airs on the 2nd of July. So similar. So it'll be coming out when Loki's out. So we might talk about it a little bit. Who knows?
There's so much content that Disney Plus is putting out.
Yeah, Disney, but like when Monsters at Work comes out, we'll have Loki, Bad Batch, MODOK, Monsters at Work, and High School Musical, the musical series, all coming out at the same time. And yes, for those of you wondering, High School Musical, the musical series, season 2 is great. I'm loving it so far. Thank you.
Oh my god!
I make no
actually
apologies.
have to watch that. We actually have to watch that.
No, John, don't worry. I'd never make you watch that. Don't worry.
I mean, listen, we enjoyed High School Musical. I mean,
Yeah,
with
we
everything like, yeah, but it never matches up the experiencing of watching Diary of the Wimpy Kid. What it was
Oh.
the end. Oh my god!
Oliver, one day I said this a while ago on the pod, like months ago, but I vow that one day we will make a Patreon and do commentary tracks for Diary of a Wimpy Kid, all 3 of them, the Holy Trilogy.
Yes, and then we'll just just talk over it, like the best things about Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and just laugh so hard. We might do it on Fast and Furious as well. Like,
yes, that's another one I was thinking about.
Yeah, and like we're gonna watch the fun ones, but we're not gonna watch like very depressing films because it won't,
Let's watch Schindler's List.
Right. Woo, yeah, or Star Wars or DC. So we're happy.
Yeah.
We might do that.
Yeah,
future, so.
Hopefully one day we'll get to that point. But yeah, who knows?
It sounds fun.
It definitely does.
It sounds fun. It might sound fun to you, listening viewer.
Steven?
Yes, you're listening right now. Yeah,
we can see you.
Fun. They can see me. Wait, what? 1984.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like nice.
Big Brother is watching you.
Yes. Wait, did you read it? You
haven't read it. Haven't read it. No. I just know enough about it to make references.
Yes.
I'm a fraud.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah. So we might do it in the future.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. So last week we talked about best costumes in comic book films, live action ones, and TV shows. And it's actually quite appropriate because this week we got some leaks from the Batman from a calendar, which include the first kind of proper look at the Riddler and his costume. What do you think?
It's interesting to see the costume for Riddler because it stands out to any other Riddler costumes or designs that we've seen, like in Arkham games or in comics. It's got a mask helmet type.
Yeah, it's unlike anything I've ever seen for the character. Now, I don't think this. I hope that he'll wear, some form of Green Riddler, maybe like a suit, like in Gotham, or maybe like a proper like spandexy thing, like in Batman Forever. I don't know, but
Yeah.
you know, it's definitely it's definitely a strange choice.
Yes. It's. I mean, unless. Oh, maybe. Okay. I think someone in the film is going to be Riddler, maybe that's going to put on the mask on everything to be Riddler. But it could be someone in the film that we know. Oh, that's someone, but we know it's Edward Nigma.
Yeah, maybe it's
So
some sort of twist. Um,
maybe,
I mean, whatever
maybe
they do, the bat suit looks awesome. So I'm confident
it
that if they
does.
make a
It does.
Riddler suit, it will also look awesome. Also, awesome. Also, if anyone's seen Paul Dano in anything, Paul Dano being the guy playing the Riddler, he
Yeah.
is great in stuff. He was in another film that I studied for
So,
GCSE film studies, Little Miss Sunshine. He was great in that. He's done some good stuff. So I think that even if the costume isn't great, he will be great. I'm sure of it.
yeah. That sounds great. Yeah. So, yeah. Very excited to
Definitely.
see the Batman. Matt
Oh yeah.
Reeves. Come on, man.
You say
Matt
Bat? Do you
Reeves.
say Bat Reeves?
No, Matt
It's
Reeves.
Bat Reeves.
Oh my God, Matt Reeves! How do we not see this?
It just makes sense, doesn't it? That's why they hired him.
Bat Reeves.
Bat
Yes. Oh,
Reeves.
Bat Reeves! Come on, come on! It's time to do the Batman. Really? But it's
Yeah,
okay.
I have.
Nah, no, 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 no. It's time. It's time to film. Oh, okay.
I know you're nocturnal, but we gotta get out there. We gotta do some stuff.
Well,
I
well,
know that
I want to watch my Planet of the Apes film. I've shut up.
I was
Film
just
it.
about to say, I know he didn't fit, I know that he only made two of them, but the Planet of the Apes trilogy is one of the all-time perfect trilogies, in my
It
opinion.
is. It's the
So
perfect trilogy.
let's
That
hope that he brings it for the Batman.
yes, yes, yes. To have that energy of Bat. I don't know.
So,
That
so
was a
Mr.
brain fart.
Reeves, Mr. Reeves, what are you bringing to this film? Bat. He brings the
Imagine
bat.
that. Imagine that. We
He
just hear
shows
and
up.
just go
You,
bat.
you know, in Chamber of Secrets, well,
Yeah,
Gilderoy
yeah.
Lockhart just has the cage of pixies, and he's like,
Oh,
"Let's see what you make of them." It's like that, but he just comes onto set, and he's just got like a cage of bats, and they're like, "Wait, are we gonna shoot the scene?" He's like, "Let's see what you make of them." He just opens, and there's bats just flying all over the sets.
and
Robert
then
Pattinson's like, "This
Bat
isn't what I
Reeves
signed up
just comes
for."
out. He just comes in and go, oh, bat,
Bat,
bat. Oh, Matt, what do you think of bat? Bat.
bats. It's the only thing he actually knows how to say.
Yes, it's his words are are filled with wisdom. Like he
Bat,
goes back in the comic.
bat.
He goes back to the reading the Batman. He's like, oh, his first word was like bat, and he saw the Batman thing and go
He read it
bat,
all. He read
bat.
the entire Batman like saga from the
Nah.
30s.
He got so emotional. He went bat.
Bat, Papa?
Why are we talking about bat?
I don't
Bat
know. But I'm gonna shift. We've also got some other kind of Batman news. Now, this is actually a Batman
bat.
animated. It's a Batman animated series called Batman Caped Crusader. Now, this is bringing in a lot of talent. You've got Bat Reeves. You got Bruce Timm, who made a lot of Batman the animated series, and J.J. Abrams, who are all working on this show. And here's the kind of statement. They said, "We are beyond excited to be working together to bring this character back to tell engrossing new stories in Gotham City. This series will be thrilling, cinematic, and evocative of Batman's noir roots, while diving deeper into the psychology of these iconic characters. We cannot wait to share this new world." And they also released this really, really cool piece of art and to go alongside it. So, Bat Reeves, Bruce Timm, J.J. Abrams, Batman the Caped Crusader. What do you think?
Bruh. Yes. Excited. Animation. Heck yeah. Woo.
I give this a solid bat. I give it a bat out of 10.
Oh. Oh. Bat. Yes,
I
yes,
really
yes,
like the
yes.
idea of going back into the noir style. I think that's really cool. Some of my favorite Batman stuff is darker and more gritty. I I have faith in Bruce Timm. I have faith in Bat Reeves. JJ Abrams, let's see.
Yes.
JJ Abrams has made some great stuff. He's made some fine stuff, and then he made Rise of Skywalker. Um, but like I just hope that he manages to kind of bring what he has brought to Star Wars, Force Awakens specifically, Star Trek, Super 8, some of his like Mission Impossible 3, some of his better stuff.
Yes, yes, yes. Bat.
Bat.
Um,
Oh, I think I've broken you. I think for now, all that you're going to say is just bat.
I'm sorry, but that's my humor. My humor is just depleting away because bat,
Your humor is bat.
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 Yeah. I'm excited for the animation. I mean, you got Bat Reeves and everyone working on it. So I'm excited for the Batman animated show. So yeah,
Oh my
I'm
God.
excited.
God forbid we ever do an episode on Batman.
Oh, Batman, what you do? Right. Okay. I think we need to move on.
I agree.
Yeah.
So our next one is another animated series. Now this one isn't. There's not as much kind of like named talent behind it that is connected to Batman anyway. This is My Adventure of Superman. So this is a Superman animated series with Jack Quaid of The Boys, actually voicing Clark Kent. They released a little image for this as well, and it seems to be taking a more classic approach to the characters. With Lois and Clark kind of early on in their relationship, kind of evolving in that way. What do you think? What do you think about this?
Yeah, it sounds really cool. Like, I mean, from the art, like, was there a picture of released?
There was,
Of
yeah,
Yeah, it looks very reminiscent of the old Superman. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
yeah,
It's a
I
classic
like.
thing.
Yeah, yeah, like from like the older Superman films, like Superman, the first one. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yes,
yes,
Superman the movie.
Superman the movie. Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. Superman the movie. Yes. But I like it. But I don't think we had. Do we have like a Batman? John, Batman.
You
Really?
can't get bats
Like,
out of his head.
like no. Do we have like a Superman animated series?
Yes, there is one around the same times as Batman the animated series. And he has also appeared in Justice League animated and stuff. But I think it's only the one Superman animated series, maybe some more recent ones that I'm unfamiliar with. But this is definitely the first, Superman TV show animated in a while.
Yeah. So yeah. I'm sorry, but my brain's just like don't say bat. Don't say bat. Okay. So yeah. Yeah. I'm intrigued to see like how they're gonna like use that old style from like from the like the Superman or the early like in the comics, like the early golden age of comics. Yeah. I mean, like,
It feels, obviously, if you've watched the podcast, specifically our Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Justice League, you'll know that we love Snyder's take on Superman, but it does feel like what they want to do is take Superman back to a more classic view. You've got the kind of rumors and reports about this new Superman story they want to tell with JJ Abrams, and perhaps Ryan Coogler or something like that, where it is very much like the classic farm boy kind of Clark Kent, and then you've got this show, and then Superman and Lois. It feels like that they want to do this kind of classic Superman, and
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that I hope that each thing is different, because and Superman and Lois just came back this week after a month hiatus. I want to say still a great show, and as I've spoken about on the pod before, that show changes it up. It adds Superman and Lois having kids. it changes it up enough that I don't feel like we've seen it already. I just hope that this isn't that this show, this Superman film, it's new. It's not just, the classic stuff that is good, but I don't particularly want to be seeing the same stuff over and over.
Yeah, yeah, that's the problem. Like having a great thing and having a another classic thing bringing back to screens, but with other creators or other directors are like, having trouble, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
struggling to, keep that.
Yeah, to
Whole,
reinvigorate it while keeping everyone on board.
yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm just one of life's natural communicators, I'm an interpreter.
Yeah, yeah.
um, okay, so our final piece of news is some Batgirl stuff. So Batgirl has been DC have wanted to make a Batgirl film for a long time. Originally, not J.J. Abrams, Joss Whedon was gonna make it. Obviously, he stepped down for so many reasons. But now it does have. So not only is it going to be going straight to HBO Max, unclear whether this will be a film or a show, but it is getting two directors, that being Adil El Arbi, who directed Bad Boys for Life, and Bilal Fallah, who is directing Miss Marvel as we speak. And then the writer is going to be Christina Hodson, who wrote Birds of Prey and The Flash, the upcoming film. So, what are your thoughts on the director and the writer, and what's your thoughts on a Batgirl film in general?
That will be interesting. But I mean, I hope it sticks to the comics, like how Barbara Gordon became as the Batman and the Batgirl. Oh.
Bat.
I'm officially broken.
He's broken.
I'm officially broken right now because Bat Reeves, Batman animated series,
Batgirl.
There we go, right? Batgirl. I really hope there's gonna be more like connections with like Jim Gordon, like of how Barbara Gordon like working with the Batman, how it impacts their relationship between Jim and her as well. Like, I hope it's not going to be too Captain Marvel-y. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't want
that's what I'm a bit worried about.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't want it to just kind of feel. I'm not a huge fan of, taking a character and just spinning them off. Batman, Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin, Red Robin, Batwing, so many different versions of, a bat. And then, Superman, you've got Superman, Superboy, Supergirl, Superdog. Like, I'm not a huge fan of that concept, but when it's done well, I think it can really work. I'm loving Batwoman at the moment. I love a lot of Supergirl, the TV show. Like, I think that this stuff can work really well when given separation from, the originator. So I think Captain Marvel was a lot too concerned with, trying to connect it to other stuff in the MCU. And I hope that Batgirl doesn't feel too concerned of connecting it to Batman. I hope Batman is a footnote, but I don't want him to be like the main thing. You know what I
mean? Yeah, and also not taking the spotlight for Batman, because I don't want Batgirl to help Batman. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want him to be. I don't want Batman to be working with the people, but Batgirl to be, independent, saving Gotham, and what I mean? Like,
Batman, I don't want them to diminish Batman for the sake of elevating.
That's what I mean.
For the sake of elevating Batgirl. I think that that's just it feels like lazy conflict.
Yeah, I want like Batgirl to have like her own conflict, like Jim Gordon, or
be able to stand on her own without being compared to Batman.
Yeah. Like something that defines her, as Batgirl. That's definitely. Yeah, hopefully
I
that.
agree. And you've seen Bad Boys for Life. I haven't. So
Oh, I
and
have.
obviously
Yeah,
Miss
man.
Marvel hasn't come out yet. So what do you think about the director? Do you think he's right for
Yeah, I
that?
think he is. He is. Because Bad Boys for Life was really good. Like I watched it in the cinemas last year, and it was a really fun time. I give it an 8 out of 10 or a 9
Oh, very
because
nice.
it's far superior than the first two. Um, because like it was directed by Michael Bay,
Yeah.
and
Immediately
yeah,
that's a no-no.
yeah, because for the explosions. But the
Is
first
it
one,
Michael Bay or is it
yeah.
Michael Bat?
Oh no!
Now that's the question.
Uh, uh, um, yeah. Um, can't think
Sorry.
now.
Yeah,
You said
sorry.
bat. Okay,
I think I
okay.
just
What was
destroyed
I
your whole
gonna
train
say?
of thought.
What was I gonna say?
Bad Boys for Life?
Right, Bad Boys for Life. So yeah, I have faith for that because he did so well in Bad Boys for Life, the director. So I have faith. I have faith.
Good.
Mm,
Me too.
yes.
I hope Batgirl is good. And with that, let's move on to the Bad Batch, episode 4. What did you think?
This was interesting, but first of all, I want to say the most cutest thing I've seen from this episode was when Omega said hello there to that little creature.
She did. She did. And I want to say a quick little thing. Those creatures are from Star Wars Resistance, as were one of those little droids, the little droid with like arms and legs.
Yes.
Those are from Star Wars Resistance. I just think it's really cool that they are, connecting the shows. And Star Wars Resistance is one that it doesn't feel as important as Rebels or the Clone Wars. So I just think it's cool to get those little connections. It makes me happy. And yeah, so what did you think of the episode like overall? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this episode was intense this week.
Yeah.
Like with everything that's
Mhm.
happening, like with Fennec, with Omega, and yeah. I thought it was a great episode. Like the start, seeing Fennec in the animated
It's
version.
cool to see Fennec in this kind of
Yes.
thing. I hope we get to see Boba Fett in some capacity.
Yeah, maybe like help to realize, oh no, the Empire, just seeing like how he quickly gets on with the Empire, like helping them or something, what I mean?
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Well, I think there is an established relationship between Fennec and Boba. I think, I feel that in The Mandalorian. And I know, I think it'd be cool to see, you know, if there was a relationship, how that relationship began. Obviously, at this point, Boba is, somewhere in his teens, maybe in his early 20s. He would have just got his armor at this point, canonically. So I think it'd be really cool to see an early on Boba Fett, who maybe struggles a bit more than he does in the other films and shows.
Yeah, yeah, I really like it, and it was a very different mise en scène this episode. Like
Yes, we
it
went to
was,
Pantora.
yeah, Pantora, and it looked very colorful, and I thought that was a great example of like how Omega wanted to explore more places, and I think that's a great start to like she's new, she's from Camino, and she just wants to get out and see the world, and I like that. It's going to be interesting to see how she's adapting around and see new places as well, and I like it. So
Definitely, there's a lot of learning to be done with Mega's character. She's very wide-eyed. She wants to do stuff. She doesn't really understand the gravitas of the situation they're in, and I like seeing her kind of realize that slowly. And I
yeah,
think that we are seeing each of the Bad Batches go on. I think particularly this week there was stuff with Wrecker that I quite liked. He obviously went back to try and save Omega, but then Fennec Shan took him out pretty easily. And I hope that what we begin to see is the members of the batch kind of learning that they have to, adapt and fight, not just relying on their their modifications, but also having to kind of, rely
Rely
on a
on
bit
other
more
things.
skill.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, and
and
there was a particular moment where Wrecker and Tech are like, oh, don't like, don't report us to the guy, don't report the ship, and he's like, oh, maybe if I had a little bit of help, and they don't understand that they're supposed to bribe him, and when they do bribe him, they don't understand that it's just as easy for him to, then go back and like betray them behind their back.
yeah, and what else? And I've got this. Well, I really liked, that the Bad Batch, are what I said, like not relying on other people to do it, but like
Yeah.
to do other things as well, like finding new solutions as well, like sending Echo to do to be a robot.
Yeah, it's just to be a
Yeah,
droid.
yeah, to be a droid. Like yes, I'll do everything. Um, yeah. And another interesting thing is that what's Fennec trying to do? She's like communicating with someone.
Yeah,
So
who hired her? Was it the Empire? Was it someone else?
if it was the Empire, wouldn't the Empire like come out straight away after it? Like
That's true.
straight,
That's
that's
true.
like meet up or something. But the
Could be the
phone
could be
thing
the Kaminoans.
could be, or it could be in a different group maybe
Mm.
that wants Omega or something. So
Yeah, maybe there are parts of this
oh,
story that we don't quite know yet. Ooh. Maybe
ooh,
it's
that
Rex. Maybe it's Rex
could
looking
be.
for them.
It could be like, but the thing is that she's not killing Omega. She wants Omega.
Yeah,
So,
she definitely wants to make her alive.
mm,
Yeah. I definitely liked seeing that there are people after them and they can't just operate with the um the jurisdiction of the Republic. They have to, avoid the Empire and they have to do things in different ways. But at the same time, there's differences between how they operate and how Fennec operates. You see Fennec like just blowing up a speeder, and like
yeah,
killing the person on it, whereas they will just kind of take it and not like their casualties aren't as high.
yeah,
I definitely think that this is a very action heavy episode. And what I would like to see more of is more from Echo. I think he's definitely doing stuff, but I don't think it's quite I think in episode one particularly, which I would still kind of say is the best episode of the season, they set up this kind of elements of PTSD for his character,
yeah,
after all that's happened to him. But I don't feel like we're truly seeing that come to fruition just yet.
yeah. I again, it's a good episode. This one, I
Yeah.
really like it. The voice acting from McGuire. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. The person.
Ming Na Wen.
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She's the voice acting is great. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I agree. I think you're right. I think this show is consistently good, but I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't hoping for something more.
yeah.
I hope,
I just want to be
yeah.
honest. Like, it's great. It's good. It's a good show, but I wish there was more to it. But
Mm.
hopefully there will be. There will
Yeah,
be.
I mean, at this point, episode 4, so we're exactly one quarter of the way through, 16 episodes. So I hope that each week it will become, clearer what they are kind of intending, and where the show is going in general.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty excited to see more stuff like with Fennec or with Rex or like other things as well.
Yeah,
So
I'm excited for
yeah,
Rex to get stuck in.
I give this episode a 7 or an 8.
Yeah, I think I'd go somewhere between 6 or 7, maybe an 8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 7. I think at 7 because the voice acting is great. There was some really good moments, especially the hello there. Dave Filoni, I know you were about to say hello there in that. Good job, good job.
Hey, Dave Filoni has been promoted to like chief like story executive or something at Lucasfilm.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so
Props for him.
he's
Yeah.
too late, I'd say. I'd say this should have been done before. Otherwise, maybe Rise of Skywalker would have been better. Maybe, just maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, I wish there was like he was in more creative control because I could tell he was very, very, very well known in the Star Wars community, like with the Clone Wars and everything. So
Definitely.
yeah, yeah,
So let's move on to our main segment. We're talking about we're back to our Zack Snyder films. We're talking about
yeah,
Army of the Dead. No relation to Dawn of the Dead. We got a whole lot of zombies in Las Vegas.
yes, yeah, yeah, and it's a very, very different film.
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
yeah, so
It has all the Zack Snyder isms that you would imagine.
yes,
What did you think?
it's a film, definitely.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah, yeah. I have mixed feelings about this.
Okay.
Yeah. So with this film, I mean, it's a great, it's a really good film. Like there was some moments that I really liked, with the zombies and Dave Bautista's character going through a lot of stuff. Scott, yeah, that's his name, Scott,
Great
and
Scott.
Great Scott. So and I really love the premise of like Las Vegas. There's a bunch of zombies and the opening. Oh, the opening title is great. I'll tell you
Yeah,
that.
I agree. It was very Watchmen, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I
It
needed that content.
definitely it perfectly set the stage for everything, and yeah, I think it might have probably been my favorite sequence of the film.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I gotta say, it's a great sequence that really stands out to the entire thing because there was a lot of action in the opening sequence, like with Frank Sinatra's song. I forgot, but it was like Viva Las Vegas, Viva Las Vegas.
Yes, it was.
Yes,
I really like some of the. There was some meta stuff in there, like where he says, "Look out, Elvis!" Just as Elvis is crushed by the Eiffel
the Eiffel
Tower.
Tower.
Yeah, I really enjoyed some of that stuff. It was clever, and I think it's really sweet to see Zach doing some of that, like just getting that freedom to do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah,
After
I,
everything that he's been through, it's cool that Netflix just let him go crazy.
yeah, and I really like that because it really shows his creative control. Um, what, but yeah. The other day, I don't have Twitter or anymore, but on Instagram, it said that Netflix, like, yes, Army of Dead is the Snyder, the full version of the Snyder Cut.
Yes, it did. It was just like that
Yeah,
is the Snyder cut, and it's just good after everything. It's just I'm just
yeah,
happy that I'm happy that Zach's happy in all honesty.
yeah. So, yeah. So the film, I really liked. So I want to get into the characters now.
Right,
So
let's go for
the
it.
characters. So my favorite character from this film is Dieter. Uh,
Dieter, yeah,
Dieter. Yeah, Dieter. He
the
was,
safe cracker.
yeah, the safecracker, and I just really liked the character. He was just funny. The light, the light-hearted character that that we needed, like in zombie films, or what I mean,
Well,
like,
he brought the comic relief, and
yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's good because not all films get that right.
yeah, and but with Dieter, it was perfectly balanced, not too funny, but like it really set the tone for the film because it's set in Las Vegas because Las Vegas is just filled with zombies and it's going to get nuked.
It
So
is.
yeah, so yeah, I really liked him. I thought he was just a character that really, pushed the story, and it had great interaction with other characters as well. Like my
Yes.
favorite interaction was like with what was that guy? Who was like very mean, but then he's very nice at the end at the film.
The one with the one with the big like chainsaw thing.
Yeah, him. Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. I think there's loads of really good character interactions, with Dave Bautista and his daughter, with Dave Bautista and that other woman, with the two people who are like on social media and stuff. Like
yeah,
there's tension as well as tender moments, and I really
yeah,
like that. I do think the characters are a little bit shallow though. I think
yeah.
I think they have
Especially
one.
the daughter.
Yeah, I think everyone has their one thing, and then they kind of just ride the spectrum of that, like Dave Bautista is like a tough guy, and he's trying to kind of get he's trying to win back some of his daughter's affection, and in doing so, he doesn't really, he rides that line between either like being really tough or like being a little bit like softer. I don't think that I felt like there was any points where he would have like properly snapped. I feel like the whole point he was just out to kind of please his daughter and make her happy, and that's kind of the whole reason why he's doing all this and getting a food truck, and there were nice moments, but I feel like the characters weren't dynamic enough. I didn't believe that they would I didn't believe that they would have acted against their I don't want to say programming, but their convention.
Their
Their morals, yeah.
Yeah. And there's some really really good moments that I really liked in the film. Again, the opening sequence is great. But there was a lot of stuff that makes you think like, wow, he decided not to connect Dawn of the Dead, but makes his own universe, with something that he just truly got inspiration from Romero. But this is a very different one because it's like a heist / zombie, and it just works perfectly.
It does.
It's just, yeah.
And they
But
expand upon it. There are zombies who aren't just like mindless monsters. There are more evolved zombies.
yeah,
And it does add another layer of tension, and makes some of the action a little bit more interesting, especially giving it that kind of main antagonist with the patient zero, as it were.
yeah, and I like that because I was trying to, because I know the Dawn of the Dead and Army of the Dead don't connect. They're not. It's not a spin-off. It's not a sequel. But I was trying to connect it. Like, at the beginning there was two soldiers who were like, "Oh, what are we holding with?" They were like, "Oh no, did you look at the autopsy? It was like an alien or something." So that would be really interesting. Like,
Yeah, the setup was the weirdest thing. So the whole zombie outbreak, spoilers, I don't know if we said this already, but spoilers. The whole zombie outbreak hinges on a woman sucking a man off whilst he is driving, and then two army guys thinking of ludicrous things that they could be like hauling, and then they crash. Like, that's honestly mad. I'm not sure if that's the point, but it's immediately a very strange way to kind of a strange note to start the film.
That's the point. Yeah, I think that's what the point Zach really wanted to do. Like, it's like a butterfly effect. I mean, you just got married, and then your wife is like, "Ooh, yeah," and then just crash because they were having fun. So
they were, die hard, as it were.
Die Hard, yes. The guy who was just driving down and then did not realize he was about to crash into an army. I don't know, the Four Horsemen or something. Yeah, the Four Horsemen. And I really like the opening. Like, the soldiers are like, "Oh no, we didn't run away," and then they're like, "Haha, you fell," haha. But then you just get bit. They just get
yeah.
Bit. Yeah, that was a bit weird, but
it was such it was a weird opening considering the rest of the film. It was like it was an opening for a much more kind of comedic film than we got. And I don't think the film was without its comedy. I think it had many, particularly Tig Notaro's character definitely was the comedic relief. I think that is a decent time to talk about Tig Notaro. Originally, it was going to be Chris D'Elia in the role, but he was removed after a lot of allegations, and Tig Notaro replaced him as the helicopter pilot. She was added in. She shot her scenes like late last year. She shot them with Zack Snyder and didn't meet any of the cast. Did you know that going in?
No, I
Well,
did not.
so the helicopter pilot, so she was added in later because the original actor was removed, and so she never met anyone. She never fit all of her films. All of her shots are shot, at a separate location with Zach. So I'm
Oh,
assuming.
right.
So I'm assuming you didn't notice any of that.
I did not. Wow. That is okay. That is a great. Wow, that must be painstakingly really hard to connect.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm
Wow.
glad that it's interesting that you didn't notice because I think I probably would have noticed if it.
Yeah.
No, I don't
Yeah.
think I would have, but I definitely did. I don't think I would have if I didn't know, but I did know. And to me, it
Wow.
was very obvious that so many shots of her were a little bit out of focus or a little bit out of the lighting was a little bit different. And it also kind of to me at least felt like they went to extra efforts to kind of make it seem uh a little more, I don't know the word is, kind of like seamless, but it definitely stuck out a little
Yeah.
bit to me. Like in her first scene, like she's speaking to Dave Bautista from the other side of a fence,
Yeah.
and to me that was definitely like reshoot, so I think that was a little bit obvious, but obviously it's unavoidable.
Yeah. Wow. How come I didn't notice that? Because there was a little bit of a weird stuff between that, but like with the editing, but I did not really notice that. Wow. Yeah, there were other certain actors that needed to be off the film, didn't there?
Yeah.
I think.
So that
Yeah.
was that I mean that is it's I think it's good that it works, and you didn't know. I think the average viewer wouldn't know, so I think they managed to preserve the experience well enough.
Wow. Right. Yeah. Um. Yeah. The cinematography in this one is just wow. I think
Oh
this is
yeah.
like Scott Snyder. Come on, John. Come on, John.
Don't
What you
get
talking about?
don't let's not start getting Snyder's mixed up. Otherwise, we're gonna be here all day. There's so many of
Okay.
them.
Right. So I think this is Zack Snyder's best visual. Oh no, sorry, I won't say it. Second best because 300.
Oh
Um.
yeah,
So
good point.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
So I think this.
yeah, go
Sorry.
on, go on.
I just really love it. The mise en scène, like the open start, like it really like brought out like what Las Vegas is like. Like it's colorful. But then there was a lot of shots that were very influenced, like Apocalypse Now, directed by Stanley Kubrick. That
Yes.
helicopter shot that that looks very very
Well,
similar.
similarly, Apocalypse Now starts with, this is the end. And I'm pretty sure this is the end plays in Army of the Dead. Does it not?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think so.
So
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of similarities there. I think that's really cool. I think like so many of Zack Snyder's films, the CGI is very, very well integrated. I didn't really notice, if that makes sense.
Yes, I completely forgot about the CGI, but it looks totally seamless in this one.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
there might have been a couple of shots with the tiger, the zombie tiger, that looked a little
yeah, the
bit
Summer
off,
Tiger
but
looks really
I think for the most part it looks really good.
yeah. Like there was a lot that it was great. It was very gory this one,
Definitely.
and Zach was he was not hesitant to do it. Like, yep, come on, let's have that zombie just walks into the vault. Like he gets
Oh my
shot by
God. Yeah.
tranquilizers, gets shot, and then you thought that was the last one, but no, you just get squashed and like,
Gets squashed
what
by
the
the
heck?
wall. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
mad.
yeah, that's mad. And then the guy who works for Mister uh to I don't know what was his name.
The
Uh, to,
guy, the guy.
to to cut Mister what's his name?
I don't
Mister
remember. I know who you mean
Mr.
though.
T. I'll call him Mr. T. I'll call him
Mr. T.
Mr. T. I've been in a
Fool.
fool.
Yeah.
So Mr. T assistant, the guy who was trying to
Yes.
sabotage the whole thing.
The
Yeah.
the actual worst character. Like, oh my God, he was such an asshole.
Yeah, he was just because he reminded me of the character in Dawn of the Dead, but not without the redemption arc.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I think there are a lot of similarities there.
Yeah. Um and the other thing that I really liked is that um it it didn't it kind of subvert my expectation, but I do know there was something happening with that shady guy. Like he wanted to take the head of the zombie, and like, what the heck? What?
Yeah, I think that was
Yeah,
interesting that that he wants to they wanted to kind of study it in some capacity.
yeah.
And
I knew, yeah, I knew he was being shady. So yeah.
yeah, I think the film kind of rides the lines between, you think that the zombies outbreak is going to be quelled,
Easy.
that it's going to be sorted at the end. They're going to kill the zombies and they're going to be fine. But then also you think that it might continue. At the end, you're not quite sure whether Dave Bautista's daughter is going to kill him. And then obviously the final kind of twist of the film is that Mr. Chainsaw got bitten and is going to turn into the zombie,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
restarting the cycle.
yeah. That's crazy because he's going to Mexico City. So
Yes. Oh, maybe the next
yes,
one, if there is a sequel, maybe the next one will be
yeah,
in in Mexico City.
yes. You forgot what I just said.
I did. I'm
Uh,
sorry. I'm sorry.
yeah. Again, I want to talk about the character. Yeah. Well, oh yeah, with the CGI. I want to say, yeah, CGI was, and the makeup was very, very good in this one. I
Oh
really liked
yeah,
it.
all of the makeup and practical effects were top notch.
Yes, and it felt like Las Vegas was undead alive. It feels, like it's
It's
very,
perfectly eerie.
yes. Like, because
Definitely.
if you look at Las Vegas, because Las Vegas is filled with people who are gambling or enjoying their night away, or just driving down the highway,
Driving
getting
down
their
the
wife,
highway.
just getting their wives, do that noise stuff. But anyway, yeah,
Indeed.
that wouldn't start a zombie apocalypse. But yeah, I wonder if Zach is going to do like different locations for the zombie stuff as well, because we got Army of the Dead, but what's next? Uh,
Well, it's interesting you say what's next. There are two
Prequels.
there are two prequels. So there's Army of Thieves, in which our favorite character Dieter is recruited to assist in a series of heists, impossible to crack safes across Europe. So no zombies, but it is about Dieter, kind of tracking down and cracking safes in Europe. So maybe that is you'll see some stuff of him in Germany, and then a more
Anime.
Yes, this one is an animated one, and it's closer to the start of the film. It's called Army of the Dead: Lost Vegas, and is about the first phase of the outbreak, following Dave Bautista and the characters. So it's basically a show about the opening
I
montage.
think that'd be really good, because what we've seen from the opening sequence, like, there's a lot more action to it. Like,
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting, but do we really need it? I mean, I think that
I
the
mean,
the
I
opening
mean,
sequence did everything it needed to do.
it did, but it would be really cool, like, with a lot of zombie situations, like, how do we how do we know like the barricade works and everything? Like,
That's
do
true.
we know the characters before? Like, like how they stacked it up? Because it's gonna be really hard for the like people just like moving the blocks around the city. And wait, how long would that take to put them around the city? That would take them.
Well, I mean, depends how many helicopters you've got, I guess.
Oh, helicopters. Why didn't I think of that? Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, unless
people aren't pushing them with their hands, just like moving like, oh, maybe in a month we'll
no,
get this
no,
over
no.
there.
I thought they were using cranes or something. Well, if they
Okay,
use
maybe hey,
cranes,
maybe they're using both.
yeah, maybe. But Las Vegas is massive, so yeah. So yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. I want to go back to the character with the character that the daughter.
Yeah.
I, I, I didn't like the character.
Scandal.
Yeah, because she, it, it kind of nearly ruined the vibe for the whole story. I don't know. I don't know why. I just had this feeling like, oh, why is she being stupid? Why is she doing like trying to get?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, there's another sub story for like for her trying to get Gita.
yeah. It felt like it was she was there just to kind of add a little bit of character drama and spice up the ending a little bit. And I think that might
Yeah,
have worked, but I feel like the pacing, this film is 2.5 hours, and I feel like the pacing it begins to crawl. You get like the classic heist, like we've got to put together a team and people who we already know and all that. And once you actually get into the city itself, you get these really tense scenes and really like good scenes that are strung together with some stuff that I think, could be trimmed down a little bit. One of my favorite sequences, apart from the opening, was when they're going through like all the sleeping zombies, and the guy leads the girl who is in. Just a little side note: that woman, the first one to die, is in a lot of Zack Snyder stuff. She's in Man of Steel. Um,
yeah,
she's
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
Justice League. She's the main character in Snow Steam Iron.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
yeah, and so it's cool to see her again. And I really like that she went down fighting, and I really like all the stuff that happens in that scene. But I feel like I might have got more invested if they trimmed down the characters a little bit. I really don't feel like you need everyone. I feel like if you trim down the characters a little bit and you kind of made it a little bit tighter with the pacing, you cut out some stuff and some action set pieces. I feel like you could have something a lot better. I feel like especially at the end, you don't necessarily need that final boss fight with the guy. You just have the main zombie come to the main casino.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I felt yeah, I agree with about the pacing. There was sometimes like it was going like, oh, okay, this is a lot of action, but then it just went to a lot of like words, like like with dialogue and everything. But I felt like the dialogue was a bit. It was good, but I felt like it was a bit like it's kind of ruined the pace. So you know what I mean? Like it nearly. I don't know. It's hard
Yes.
to describe. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I
yeah.
know exactly what you mean. Um,
But the most confusing thing was the chainsaw guy. So when Dieter and the guy, the chainsaw guy, they get down to the vault, and then the chainsaw guy just talks about the other team and saying this is a loop. Like
Yeah,
they
I
look,
I I thought that was actually going to happen. I thought that sounds really interesting.
but it didn't.
Yeah,
So
I'm not sure what they were trying to say with that. You know, like,
unless
is that just their attempt at doing some like Inception stuff, or like,
I don't know,
some sort of like
but
heaven sent, Doctor Who?
yeah, or maybe this is a second loop or something. Oh wait, what if that's gonna happen like in the next dawn of some dead or something or something
Yeah.
like that?
Hey, it
Um,
could do.
yeah, I think that could work because like oh that could be like the source motivation
Oh yeah, maybe
for
they
the
go
chainsaw
into
guy,
maybe they go into Area 51 and they find out where the zombies came from, and it turns out to be like this whole like time loop thing.
and it's the guy who was bitten.
Yeah.
That could be mind blowing,
Well,
but
I think
it
there was a lot of coincidences. Like the one was wearing the same shirt as they all had similar clothings on
Yeah,
to the
like
characters.
they had like the same symbol, like on
Yeah.
the right side of his chest, the omega symbol. Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think
they
that
both had
I genuinely think if they did that, that would be wild and
that,
really,
but
really
that would
cool.
be cool. That would be
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah, like oh oh my god, that would be really cool. Like the other team, they're trying to stop the like to stop like to make the vault impossible. So then the guy wouldn't be existed to be bitten. Oh my god, that would be really meta.
Honestly, I'm not that interested in a sequel, but if the sequel was gonna do that, if it was gonna do like a mad time loop thing, I would be so down, you know?
That is incredibly cool. That like they're trying to go back in time and stop the other team, so then there wouldn't be a patient zero anymore. So, oh my god,
Yeah, the only thing is I'm not sure how they would do that, you know?
yeah,
Like
but
obviously it's zombies, but it's still very grounded. And I think it might be a little bit of a stretch for them to be like, and time travel.
time travel, but unless they do the time travel a bit more sensible, you know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
don't do it like
And
too
if they
out
give
of
it some kind of like ludicrous yeah,
yeah.
explanation.
But that would be meta. That would be really cool. That one
That
if
would
they did.
be so just be so deep, bro.
Oh yeah, it's so deep. This is cinema. So
As
yeah,
Martin Scorsese would say, cinema.
yes, yeah. What
So,
else?
anything you want to say? Anything else? Or
Soundtrack. I really like the soundtrack.
ooh, yeah, I
Like
agree. Got some cool songs in
yeah,
there.
yeah. There's really good songs. What else? Las Vegas. Yeah, I love the concept.
Mm,
Characters are great, but some were shallow.
yeah. Do you
Um,
where do you want Zack Snyder to go next? Obviously, he's going to be working on the prequels. He might
yeah,
be working on a sequel. What do you think? Would you like to see him make more? Would you like to see him kind of branch out and do some other stuff?
it'd be really cool if he like branch out to do the Dead Universe. That would, maybe we could call it the Dead
Ooh,
Universe. Yeah, that would be really cool.
yeah, I think that'd
But
be interesting.
yeah, like he could. I can tell he can definitely make a universe
Mm,
of something that would be really cool.
I agree.
But
I think Zack Snyder, most of his films are either, comic book films or like just like heavy action kind of films. And then you got Legend of the Guardians, which is a little bit of a kind of an outlier. Um, but I don't know. As mad as it sounds, I like to see what other genres he can dip his toes into. He spoke about maybe doing some sort of Arthurian legend. I
yeah,
think that would
yeah,
be quite cool if he kind of
yeah,
did something fantasy esque, you know?
yeah. And I know this is not linked, but I he said that he will work on a comic book. So
Ooh, that'd be
I'm
cool.
that'd be really cool. Like, oh, bro, I'm sorry. Imagine Scott Snyder and Zack Snyder write something together.
Whoa, that'd be cool. That'd be very cool. I mean,
That'd be very
I'm
cool.
obviously they offered him the chance to do a graphic novel. DC, I mean, offered him the chance to do a graphic novel about Batman and Joker in his Snyderverse, and I'm pretty. I would love to see that, and I'm quite upset that they're
I
not going to do that because I'm not sure whether we will get to see it in any kind of substantial way.
Yeah, but get back to the film. Yeah, the film it's a great film to watch. It's a lot. There's a lot of action packed, but
It's
the
very
pacing
Zack Snyder.
was.
If you like Zack Snyder, you're probably gonna like this film.
It's a very Zack Snyder film.
Definitely,
The ending, yeah, the ending opens a lot of stuff
it
that,
does.
yeah, like what's gonna happen. So I'm wondering what is gonna happen. So that's really good. It doesn't end up like a very weird note, but it kind of like deserves justice for the character for Kate. Yeah, Kate. Like to pay off 7 grand of like for the children. So I really like that.
For the
There's
children.
for the children. That sounded wrong, but that's yeah, for the children. But yeah, there was some great character arcs I really liked, like the character interaction with Dieter and with the chainsaw guy. Yeah, I would give it a 7. I would give it a
Okay.
7 or an
And
8.
obviously we've already talked about 6 other Zack Snyder films. How would you kind of rank it in terms of Zack Snyder films?
So the number one, what did I put it at my number one? Oh, there's a lot of great films. I might have to put Watchmen on my number one.
Okay.
Dawn of the Dead 2. Zack Snyder's Justice League. No, God, no. 300. 4. Oh no, wait, 300
Oh,
second. No,
he's been
300
breaking
second.
him.
No, okay. Watchmen first. 300 second. Uh, what was the other one that I just said? Wait, Watchmen, 200, Dawn of the Dead, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and then Army of the Dead.
What about Batman v Superman and Man of Steel?
No, I forgot about that. Okay,
Okay.
I
So
want to rank
so
them.
so so it's safe to say that you would call Army of the Dead your least favorite film of his.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree. I think I'd go Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Watchmen 300, Dawn of the Dead, Justice League, Army of the Dead. I think
yeah.
this is
I'm
definitely
gonna
my
say
least
Batman
favorite of
v
his.
Superman's my favorite, but
Cool.
with Army of the Dead, it's a great film to watch if you're just bored or it's not terrible. But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
So
it's not terrible, but it's not quite my favorite of Snyder's work.
yeah, it's a 7 out. It's a 7 out of 10. But if you're watching that's action packed or something, that is zombie related, yeah, I
Give it a
give it a watch.
watch. Give it a bloody watch.
Get it a watch. Yeah. So yeah, so that's my least favorite Zack Snyder film. It's not terrible, but there was
Yeah,
some
7.
bits that
I think I agree with you. 7 out of 10.
yeah.
Yeah.
So can't wait
So
to see. I'm excited to
yeah,
see what he's gonna work on. So
yeah, and I guess
yeah,
there's prequels as well.
gotta get them prequels, boy.
Got to get those
Yeah.
lovely prequels. So let's move on to viewing. Now you said that you haven't watched anything.
Yes,
Um,
I'm so
I'll
sorry.
That's all right. I'll give you a little bit of time in case you think of something that you might want to talk about, and I will talk about. I watched Ted Lasso. Now you spoke about this a while ago.
Yes.
And I thought I'd watch it because everyone under the sun has been telling me that it's wonderful and it's really kind of heartwarming and a real feel good show. And I have to agree. I think I do not care about football in the slightest, but
Yeah.
I really, really loved this show about, perseverance and hope and optimism and, not breaking the human spirit. What I loved about Ted as a character is that he's constantly so optimistic and he wants to bring people up, he wants to make them believe, but he has a line, he has a point, and he goes through so much. He has panic attacks, and he really feels like a fleshed out character with the good and the bad. There are moments where he will really snap at people, sometimes unprovoked because he is going through stuff himself, but then in the spirit of his character he will come back and apologize, and he'll make things right, and he makes people better by just by being around them, and he learns things from other people as well. And I love it because it's a really kind of unique opportunity for to see like the kind of like American sensibility of comedy, which is like if you think about the American Office versus the UK Office, the American Office is a lot more light-hearted and kind of optimistic. It's more of like a utopia of like a perfect situation, whereas the UK Office is more like gritty and realistic. And I think putting an American with those sensibilities into the UK, and I think it's a very, very good depiction of like literally the back of my house is a football field, and all you hear, like whenever there's a game on, it's people yelling and swearing, and that kind of anger that comes with football. You see this through the players, through the fans, through the media. You see all of this in the British football kind of society that Ted interacts with. I think it's really accurate, and it's really good seeing both sides learn and grow from each other and develop. I think it's a great show. It's just so much fun, and I love it.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
What would you
I
give it
think
out of 10?
bats. I think I give it a 9. I couldn't put my finger on what I wouldn't like, what I'm not particularly a huge fan of. I think there's a certain character. I think his name's Jamie, who kind of disappears in the narrative after becoming such a big part of it. And I think I would like him to be a little bit more, like to see a little bit more of his struggles towards the end of the season. So yeah, I think I'd give it a solid 9 out of 10. Is there
Yes.
anything at all that you want to talk about?
Um. Okay. So next week
Ooh.
I'll be definitely be watching a
Well,
lot of
in
films.
in 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 2 weeks, because remember we're recording next week's podcast tomorrow.
Yes.
So
So
you'll be talking about that in 2 weeks.
yes. So so this week I okay, so there's two things.
Okay.
So one, right now I'm currently playing Resident Evil Village 8.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So that's an
The
8.
one with the woman that everyone really really likes.
Last night was so good, man. I met her. I
Oh,
met the
oh,
tall woman.
okay. Oh, oh no. Things are
Uh,
happening, folks.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So, yeah. So I'm playing it so far, and it's so good. It's so scary, and it just works really well because I played 7 because it was just free on PlayStation for a month. So yeah, so it was like for the PlayStation or it was PlayStation Plus or something. So I played 7 and I was like, wow, that's a really good game. So I should get 8. So I'm playing 8 currently at the moment, and the graphics, oof, they're great, and it doesn't really detach. Like, it doesn't lose like the energy from 7 to 8 because it just works really well. And the characters well, there's like different characters I've seen so far, and the tall woman, lady,
Oh,
uh,
oh, oh.
uh, lady, Dimitri. I don't know how to say the name. Dimitri.
Yes. Yeah,
I don't know
I
how
know
to
who
say
you
that
mean.
name. She's
Every,
9'6", bro. She's
yeah, she
nine
is.
six.
She's very tall, very tall.
Yes, I was like, oh, lady, g'day.
She's like,
um,
oh
uh,
no.
uh,
Comment down if you want to see John do a playthrough on the channel.
I'm actually considering doing a playthrough of Resident Evil 8. So if you're happy
Wow.
to see me uh, simping over
Oh no.
lady, but yeah, I'm happy to, but yeah, but so far the story's crazy. You're meeting these bosses okay, so you're Ethan Winters and your wife who tried to kill you in the last game, and
Oh, sounds like a happy marriage.
yeah. So, but the thing is, you in the last game you found your wife. She's trying to kill you, but she's in her family home where her family is infected with this virus, and they're trying to kill you, and they have powers.
Wow. I mean,
Yes,
if that isn't a good setup, then what is?
yeah. So I would recommend you watch a bit of like Resident Evil 7 cutscenes, like what to get the idea of the
Yeah.
7. So yeah, I'm very interested in the Resident Evil universe. So yeah, the games look very stunning. So yeah, so currently 8 has a very crazy start. But seven has a very unforgettable moment that you have at the beginning of the game that you just go, what the heck? So yeah, your wife just kills you and not tries to kill you. So with a
If your wife
chainsaw.
kills you, the game's going to be over pretty quickly.
Yeah. So yeah, I haven't got a rating yet, but well, the problem is I got a lot of stuff this week, so I'll be definitely talking more about the game next week. So I'll be
Brilliant.
talking about the mechanics next week or the other things that I really like. So
Amazing.
yeah.
Sounds
And
great.
then another thing. Oh wait, do you have more stuff to talk about?
I do indeed. A
Come
quick
on.
like thing. I just want to say that I just started Modoc on Disney Plus,
Oh right.
um, and definitely recommend it. The episode was like only like 25 minutes long, but it's such a fresh like Marvel thing. The animation is like just a bundle of joy, and so unique, and the comedy is great, and yeah, it's very funny and just really good so far. But what I did watch, a film that I loved as a kid, and haven't watched in a while. Um, I watched Mamma Mia. And let me just say, oh man,
Ah,
I love this film so much. It's so energizing. Most of like the musical numbers make me want to get up and dance. The cast have such chemistry. You know, each kind of pairing of characters all bounce off each other so well. It feels real. It feels like these actors have just kind of come onto this island in Greece and just are drunk for the whole thing, having so much fun. It has a wonderful kind of emphasis on love and camaraderie and friendship, and you know what, the music is so good, and like there are just some sequences, you know, I think of like Take a Chance on Me and Dancing Queen, just some amazing like sequences that make you just so happy. And you know, if you used to love this as a kid, as I hope most people do, because it is one of the
I
quintessential.
do. I do. I
Of
do.
course, of course, everyone does. It's just it's one of those quintessential musicals that, you know, even if you're not a fan of musicals, I'm sure this will get you to smile in some capacity. And if you are a fan of musicals, it's not like the best musical ever, but it is so much fun, it eludes so much joy, and so much magic. And the sequel's fine. I'm not a huge fan of the sequel. I know a lot of people think the sequel's better, but
Yeah.
I think the first one is unbeaten. It's an absolute joy, and it brings people together. I remember a couple years ago, John, we're at your sister's 18th birthday, and Dancing Queen came on, and all the people were dancing, doing the exact choreography from the film. And I just think it's so cool how so many people grew up with it and, you know, love it and connect by it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
wonderful film. I think
Yeah.
it's probably like there are some shots that I'm not a huge fan of, some like editing choices, some characters who are kind of a bit weird. So I think I'd probably give it like an 8 out of 10 in terms of quality, but enjoyment levels, 10 out of 10 without a shadow of a doubt. It's so enjoyable. I recommend it to everyone. I love it so much.
Yeah. So this week, okay, so this is gonna be different. So I've been listening to this album. So
Oh,
don't worry. So it's not. I don't recommend. I don't talk about albums on this one. But if you want something that is very very interesting to hear about, or something that you want to hear something, so there's this producer. You don't hear any rapping on this, so don't worry. You'll be a lot chill. You don't have to go like, oh wow, this line's crazy, bro. The bars are just like wow, wow, wow.
oh
Just
my God.
like the A-B rhyme scheme. Oh my god. So yeah. So if you want more hip hop stuff or like albums that I want to recommend, yeah, just look in the comments or like some albums that have like a very good story that has like a cinematic audio experience. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So yeah. So there's an producer that died in 2006,
okay.
and his name is Jay Dilla,
Uh-huh.
and Jay Dilla did this album called Donuts.
Okay.
So he made this album in the hospital bed where he was suffering from uh, a rare blood type disease, and he spent days and days working on this album. And a lot of people have been saying this is the best sound beat musical. Like, if you want to study or something, or if you want to chill, I recommend listening to Jay Dilla, because Jay Dilla just it's just so satisfying to hear those beats. So I would recommend the Jay Dilla Donuts, and the beats are just felt. He's like the person who created like lo-fi beats or something else. You know, if you want to listen to something really chill. So yeah, so I know it just helped my revision today. So
Great. I'll
yeah,
definitely listen to that.
yeah, he's it's the album is called Donuts. It's only 43 minutes. If you want something to chill, or listen to music, or just play some games, yeah, I just recommend. And that the beats just kind of tell out a story, because this is a very personal one. Like, because it's his last album, and he made it on a hospital bed, like days away from dying, and yeah, and it's quite emotional, really, but a little bit. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a bunch of beats. So yeah, so okay, so and then I read this. I got this comic called Infinite Crisis.
Oh
Ooh.
yes, you told me about that one. Hold that off, because obviously we're recording next week's tomorrow. Tell us about that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we are running out of time on this Zoom call, and we can get it done, John. We can get it done just in
Okay.
time.
Anything you watched?
No, I have a couple other things, but I'm going to leave them till tomorrow, or I guess next week for listeners, because cinema's back, and that's all I have to say. Cinema's back, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
thank you everyone for watching. As always, if you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, hit that bell if you want to see more, and if you want to get in touch with us, you can on ourstimefilmpod@gmail.com. We love to do our email segment every once in a blue moon, so if you want to send us anything that way, you can. Next week we're going to be doing best cinema experiences, talking about the cinemas are back in full swing, so we're going to be talking about our favorite moments, films to watch. We're each going to do a top 5, and obviously that's why I'll be talking about some stuff that I've seen recently, having gone back. And yeah, so if you want to follow us or get in touch with us on social media, we are Our Time Film Pod on Twitter and Instagram. I am Tom the Boardman on Twitter.
I am Comedy John 42 on Twitter. I don't use Twitter anymore.
He doesn't use Twitter anymore, but that's fine, because I can't be bothered going back and removing Twitter from everything. I could remove your Twitter from everything.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I mean, I could do if you want me to.
I don't mind what you do, unless it's
Who knows?
Twitter is just like it's just like a rabbit. It's like a hole. Like, you just go and fall down.
I get that. I get that.
Yeah,
like that.
Okay. Yeah. What's my message?
Come on, John. You say it every week. Come on, you remember what to say.
Oh, wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Wear your mask.
Wear a mask.
And please
stay safe. Be safe, everyone.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So if you have anything to say, comment down. Email what, Tom?
ourstimefilmpod@gmail.com.
There we go.
Wow.
So,
we are
yeah.
and share the podcast if you think people will like it, because we are so close to 200 subscribers, and I think that's so cool.
That is a very good achievement right there. So
I mean, I don't know how many of them even care, because no one watches the videos, but here we go.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for listening. Share, like, subscribe, all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and as always, take what you're given.
Give nothing back.
Give nothing bat.
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 Bat.